Light comes out of the darkness mysteriously. Seriously, without darkness, light cannot exist. Infinite intelligence or God Almighty said, "Let there be light." Then simultaneously, there it was, this galactic great ball of energy, emitting light out of the darkness. It's elementary, I profess, like sleep is the cousin of death. In the flesh, we grieve and upset, while the deceased rest in peace. We observe 6 men, a 6-sided coffin lowered 6 feet into a depth. And as the reaper creeps, the preacher speaks. Meanwhile, folks are frozen, shocked by grief and disbelief. Darkness will never cease, let's all agree and accept. It's a lot deeper than what we perceive or guess, like seeds become plants and trees. And when temperatures are at high degrees, it's the dark shadows of the leaves that give off a cool breeze. A cause and effect, time and time again. This description of darkness is from the heart. These spoken words are my niche, part of my self-expression, a curse and a gift. An eternal art transmitted to freshen the minds of those who suffer oppression, daily in the dark, dealing with depression. Regardless of the academics accomplished from college sessions, they feel suppressed because of their skin complexion or melanin. Darkness is when we close our eyes recollecting, and as we meditate to reduce the stressing, we slowly descend and escape into a dark place, achieving an altered state of mind. Nevertheless, your mental travels and navigates, and although still consciously awake, it's like being abducted, taken away, far away to a whole nother space and time, like close encounters of the third kind. A beam of light enters the atmosphere out the darkness, leaving you partially blind, a phenomenon. Now you're blessed with smartness. Darkness is the embryonic fluid which spirits get injected to 9 months after humans pass through, and it's true. This resemblance of an alien fetus will begin floating in the liquid darkness for an entire trimester. The small unknown character only knows one physical condition. Then all of a sudden, within a 180-degree change in direction, there's a new position, a rip and tear secretion of the sac. A baby's being flushed head first out of the black, adjusting to this new light which started off as a crack. Without warning, a man pursued is murdered while a baby's being born, and as the cycle of life resumes from the womb to the tomb, false ties and lies are construed, and every day it was the same old news at night. Someone was shot, and out of the darkness, all they saw was a spark or a flashing light. I give thanks. My curiosity leads me on a mission, so I'm searching for knowledge and wisdom through poetry in this twisted society. Folks, listen. You see, this African entity was born in a world where there's no such thing as freedom, justice, and equality. Peace and harmony has been replaced with jealousy and envy. There's hardly any serenity. But now it's plain to see. Inner city ways to get money is mainly drugs and robberies or extortions by bribery. It's not an act but factual reality. Artifacts and stolen legacies prior to 4+ centuries provided golden prophecies for the generations of Africans to come and their seeds. Ever since then, it's been calamity. Though we're slowly rising out of poverty, the powers that be has blinded our perception and bombarded our mentalities with death cross and symbolic imageries. Even with the verses stuck in my memory, I'm left with no clue and confused daily, because on the tube, I noticed the crafty media and political sorcery. I currently have no college nor degree to achieve, but please believe, despite my barely acquired knowledge, I've seen my adversaries on live TV. Not only the government committee, but cats who lack intelligence and pity are storming, they're tormenting our neighborhoods and our communities. And they seem to be the same submissive enemies on malicious robbing sprees, leaving neighborhoods in misery. Peep Newsweek, Wall Street stock market jamboree. Meanwhile, the block profits off of heroin, crack, and weed. Everyone is in their right minds though, clocking dough, fattening their pockets to eat and succeed. All around me, all I see is this economic stampede, but the ignorance and stupidity deep-rooted within our colonies breed greed. The truth is like veggies at the table you have to force feed. Now, to obtain satisfaction guaranteed in this life we lead, we need to first check our priorities to maintain responsibilities to indeed stabilize our family trees and finally get up to speed. And like it was in the beginning, so shall it be once we supersede. Proceeding with caution, because unity is important. More than just a portion. We mustn't forget about the major African contribution to world civilizations. There's no need for debating. We are a unique and essential creation here for elevating the masses of unconscious nations. Unlawfully calling the motherland a third world country is just purely hating. They're sitting on trillions, yet the natives got their hands up reaching. I do believe we need a boost in teachings to eliminate deceit. Retreat to poor righteous meetings, one common cause. An elite combination of all nations would require a powerful force. Knowledgeable individuals with unique qualifications to lead genuine troops in the right direction, so that the young divine groups whose learning life lessons can radiate with blessings, mentally flex, stressing less, solving all basic questions. Spiritually sublime, with a mentality designed to grow naturally, and in time, the information gathered combined can provide you with the food for thought necessary to free your mind. You see, I draw vivid depictions with words, leaving impressions with no slurs. So when you leave out stepping, you'll receive a lot more than what you heard. That's my spoken word. I give thanks. I'm P Julien, and my first piece was called Light Out of the Darkness. The second piece was called Spoken Word. Thank you.